We are going to talk all about planning this week. And if you are not a planner, well, that's okay, because I hope that I'm going to kind of convince you to become one. All right, guys. So this week, it is almost the end of October. And while I know things tend to seem like, oh, well, it's, we're not even close to the end of the year, things like that, right? Before we know it, we are going to be in the middle of all the things happening, okay? Because if you're anything like me, then you have holiday plans, right? Like personal plans, family plans. Maybe it's trips, maybe it's get-togethers, right? We've got big holidays, especially here in the US. We have Thanksgiving, we have Christmas, and if you're in my family, then we've got lots of birthdays in the fall season as well. And so this is my prime time to really focus on between now and the end of the year. What do I want to accomplish? Because again, while it might seem like, oh, I've got plenty of time to take care of things or to check in on things or to figure out what it is I want to do or get done, trust me, time is going to fly by, okay? Time flies when you're having fun, and time flies in the fall because we are all just very busy. If you have kids, then you know even more what that means, right? Like you've got all of the things going on. There's different things going on at school. They've got time off of school, like all of these different pieces. And you guys, I personally have found that when I plan ahead, I am better prepared in my business. Not only does it better prepare me in my business, but it literally sets me up for success into these last few months of the year. So while we roll in, let's go ahead and let's talk about what should we be planning and what should we really be focusing on. Now, just as with any other month, right, we're rolling into the end of a month. We're almost at the end of October. So first and foremost, you want to know, what do I need to have by the end of October? Some of you might be looking to be paid at title. So one of those things to be paid at title, we know this. This means that you have to at least be a minimum of active, okay? Then you need, if you are a lead or above, you need to have 500 PRV or more in order to be paid at title. That also includes looking at your downline and where they are. So what are your team members doing? This is a wonderful opportunity to take stock, right? So go into your workstation, you're gonna log in, you're gonna go to the reporting tab, you're gonna go to my downline, and you can run a report. So regardless if you have one team member, if you have 5, if you've got 20, whatever that looks like for you and your business, you want to be looking at those things. What are you doing and how is your month looking? And then how is it looking for your downline, your team, right? We want to be focused on how can we be helping them to either get started in their business, to keep their business going, or maybe we find out that they might be having some struggles. So one thing that I like to do this time of year specifically is to be reaching out specifically to my frontline first, right? So focusing on my frontline, those are the people I have personally sponsored or I am their direct sponsor, right? Those are the people that I really am looking at first, right? So that kind of gives me, here's my first batch of people. Here are the people that I need to look at first. And so the very first thing that I do is send out an email and reach out via email. Now, if email is not your style with your downline, that's fine. It might be a message, it might be a text, it might be a phone call. Who knows what it looks like? Either way, just make sure you're having that contact point and reaching out to them. Hey, what's going on? How are things going? This is where I see you. What are you wanting out of your business for the end of this year? And maybe possibly, what are you looking at going forward with this business, right? That's a really great question to ask. Because while some may be in this business moreover as a hobby, they may start looking at this a little bit differently, right? They may start, it's Nacho back there, they may start looking at it to say, hey, I can really leverage this to maybe make that holiday income that can help out with the holiday shopping. Or, you know, after the first of the year, things are going to look different for our family. So I'm going to need a little bit more income. That's what I want to work towards. So that really gives you a great starting point to where you are and how you can help your team members. Now, for you specifically, you need to have your own separate plan. This needs to be completely different from your team and your downline. This plan needs to really encompass kind of those same questions that we were just talking about with our team members, but asking them of yourself. Where are you currently in the business? Where do you want to be in the business by the end of the year? And then what do you want it to look like as we go into the next year? Being at the end of the year like this, I know, again, like I said, it may seem like we are just, it's too early, Jacqui. It is not, trust me. The further we plan ahead, the better we are and able to make our plans for the things that we really want to accomplish. Because better planning is going to help us to have the best success. So for me personally, my personal goals are, for one, to increase my PRV every single month, okay? So wanting to make sure that that PRV is not only recurring, but also how am I increasing it, right? So that might look like parties. For me, I don't want to call it parties. I call them shopping links because that's the majority. That's Nacho's favorite too. That's the majority of what my customers really love, right? We are in a time in where we are as a society, right? Where we don't necessarily have time for the parties and things like that. But when it comes to affiliate links or shopping links, things like that, our customers are totally on board with that. That's so much easier for them to simply share a link, text it out, message it out on their social media, send it to their friends and their family, right? Hey, here's my personal link. If you're interested in looking for buying for the holidays, order through my link because that will help me. And I'm looking to get some rewards right now. So that's kind of how I approach it when it comes to talking to my customers about that. But I'm never going to discourage you from jumping out of the box and looking for different ways to have those parties, right? Maybe it's an in-home party. Maybe it's a Facebook party, a text party. Maybe it's doing an open house, a holiday festival at your home, right? Opening up your home, having out some hors d'oeuvres and snacks, and then incorporating your Scentsy. It's a really great way. So if you are someone who is struggling and you're like, I can't find anybody to host, be your own host. Host that holiday social. Have a good fun time with it, right? Create a fun theme. Depending on when it is in the season, right? Is it going to be more November-ish? Is it going to be more December-ish, right? That can kind of help you play on a theme of what you can really do to have some fun. Some of the things that I've seen consultants do in the past, and I've always wanted to do them, and it's maybe something I'm thinking about actually now, is doing more of like a craft night for the holiday, right? So it's maybe looking at Pinterest or going to your local craft store. Mine is usually Michael's, sometimes Hobby Lobby, and going in there and just seeing what crafts might be available that I could, boys, stop. That I could look to see what are some easy crafts that I could get the supplies for, invite people over. We could have a whole craft night. And then while we're doing the craft night, I'm also talking about Scentsy, right? So it's really incorporating two different fun things into the same concept, right? It's really bringing forward and reinforcing, building those relationships with your customers, with your friends, with your family, and then introducing, right, your business and things like that. Because again, as we are in the holiday season, people are looking for those fun gifts, right? Those more unique gifts. Not everybody wants to be going to the big box stores and getting the same things for those people on their list. They're looking for something more, a little bit more individualized, or something that they can actually use all year round, right? A Scentsy warmer is a great thing to use all year round. And it comes with a lifetime warranty. Or a really fun new product is our brand new Scentsy Go, right? That takes batteries. It's also USB-C chargeable, but it runs on batteries. And I take this little guy everywhere with me. That's why it's always here on my desk. We're getting ready to go on a trip this weekend. My husband and I, we have to take care of some family business. So we're doing a quick fly out. Trust me, my Scentsy Go is going with me because I want it in the hotel room and I definitely want it in the car for when we are driving back home. So things like that, right? These are things that your customers and the people that they're shopping for the holidays, they're going to be looking for something like that rather than, again, just the regular run-of-the-mill stuff that they're probably going to find at any regular store. So if they're looking to be creative in their gift ideas, this is the time to have those conversations. So setting up a craft night if you can't find a host or if the shopping links aren't working for you, these are ways that you can really help to build your personal income, right? To build those personal sales. Now, at the same time, right, again, we don't want to lose focus. We don't want to lose sight. If you are looking to build a team, if you want to start increasing your income, I will tell you that building a team is going to be the way to do it. Can you do it on sales alone? Of course you can. But again, that's a lot more work for you, right? If you are working together with a team and building a team and you guys are all building together, then that is going to help you and your team to build that monthly income time after time after time. Now, I can't go on and talk about any of these things without talking about Scentsy Club, of course. This was a perfect month to really talk about Scentsy Club because we had the whiff box, as we do every single month. But just as with every other month, these products are while supplies last. Now, people who already had a Scentsy Club and had a whiff box in their Scentsy Club, even after the whiff box sold out, don't worry, they still got them or will be getting them if their subscription hasn't yet run for the rest of the month, right? They will still get them because that's what Scentsy does. When they are curating and inventorying product for the whiff boxes specifically, the very first thing they do is they ensure how many subscriptions they have in Scentsy Clubs that will be running that contain a whiff box. So they ensure that those customers are still getting all of those products. And then they allocate the inventory for regular run-of-the-mill sales, right? So that's where we kind of saw a little bit of a difference. So if you were impacted by that, if your customers were maybe a little disappointed in that, yes, it can happen. But just like where anywhere else at any other store, things can sell out. Do you know how many times I've seen something and somebody's been like, oh my gosh, a Target dollar spot is XYZ, and I go running up to my Target and there's none left. I'm not mad at Target, not mad at my friends. I'm just like, oh, I'm disappointed. I missed out, right? Next time I'm going to try and get here sooner. Or I'm going to figure out when they release the new items in the dollar spot, and I'm going to try and get here like that day or the next day, so that way I can maybe get in all the goods, right? Same thing when it comes to our Scentsy. So it's nothing unusual. It's nothing different. It's really nothing to get worked up about. But at the same time, yes, it can be a little disappointing, but that is why Scentsy Club is so important. Not only because of that, but of course, all of the perks that go along with Scentsy Club. So really sit down and think about, where do you want this to take you? Where do you want Scentsy to take you before the end of the year? Is it truly something that you are needing that income for certain expenses for your family? Are you looking for it for the holiday season? Holiday shopping can be very intimidating, especially if you've got lots on your list that you're shopping for, right? So this is a really great example of when Scentsy comes into play to really help us, to help our families. And at the end of the day, I don't know about you guys, but that's why I do Scentsy, okay? Not only because I love it and I would be buying it even if I wasn't a consultant, but I do it because this helps my family every single month. That's important to me. My family is extremely important to me. So I want to make sure that I'm doing as much as I possibly can and putting in as much as I can, even though I might be incredibly busy and running in 18 different directions. it really comes down to having that plan in place, right? Knowing what I'm focusing on ahead of time so I'm not behind the ball. So even on those weeks where I've got class, I'm working crazy hours, like this week I'm going out of town, my sister just had a baby, it's my son's birthday today, like everything is going on all at once. But you can still believe that my business is still getting worked, because even though I may only have time here or there in little spurts, I have my plan. So I know exactly what I need to be focusing on when I have those moments that I can actually do it. So that's why planning is so important. And that's why doing it ahead of the season, especially ahead of the holiday season, can make a huge difference for you. So you want to have a couple different plans written out. So take out your notebook, take out a piece of paper, a Post-it note, the to-do list, whatever it looks like for you, and make a couple lists. So that very first list should be for, again, we want to focus on where we're at now, right? So where are we at today? What do we want before the end of the month, right? Because that's going to take care of our paycheck for November 10th. Then where do we want November to be? Where do we want to put our focus? What are we looking at, right? Do we want to host maybe that craft night or open house? Do we want to start setting up some shopping links so customers have those going into the holiday season as people are starting to buy for the holidays, right? Those are things we want to be focusing on, Scentsy clubs, all of that, and then working with our teams if we have those. And then December, right? It's going to be a crazy busy month because it's a holiday month, okay? It's the biggest holiday month. And we personally, at least in my family, we have so many different traditions that we're doing and all of these things that we do. So I want to make sure that I am not taking time away from my family. I still have that time for my family, but again, I can fit my business into the in-between spaces of all that is going on. I'm not running behind, I'm actually running ahead. And this is where I'm able to find success in my business. So that's what I wanted to really focus on for you guys. And then finally, it's really sitting down because we are getting towards the end of the month. And you guys, if you know me by now, okay, towards the end of the year, I always love doing the annual planathon. And that is really setting us up for the brand new year. But it's a really great time to start really kind of touching base. What do I want things to look like in 2025? Do I want to increase my monthly income? Is there something that I'm working towards? Do I want to get better at something? Do I want to start building a team? What am I really wanting to focus on when it comes to Scentsy? So these are things that I want you, again, I'm going to encourage you guys to sit down and make those lists. If you feel comfortable, reach up to your sponsor and talk to your sponsor and say, hey, can we have a chat? I want to go over my plan. I just need somebody to bounce ideas off of. That's a really good place to start with that. Of course, you can always reach out in the Facebook groups. You can reach up to your leaders. We are all here for you. And I will tell you that this is the time that you can really make some big things happen. You can really plan for success in this time of year and take this opportunity to really showcase where are your talents, what are the things that you're good at or that you enjoy when it comes to Scentsy, and how can you really lean into those things and make those things pay off for you even bigger as we go forward. Are you guys ready? Are you in with me? Are you ready to plan? So again, remember, even if you're not a planner, you can do this. This is something that is doable for absolutely everybody. And I'm excited to help you do that. All right, guys, that's what I have for you this week. I will talk to you soon. Bye.